Okay. I'm sure we all must be a little out of breath. So I'm going to ask you something very, very simple. Just 2 words. All in. Our Honorable Prime Minister is very fond of making acronyms. And AI is nothing but all in. Got it? A for all, I for in. I hope you absorbed that yesterday, and I mentioned to Ravi this morning, the hidden secret of life is only one. A child, there is research and science behind it, by the way. Whether you go to the Vedanta philosophy or the modern science where they are researching, a child learns 75 to 90% without any form of physical communication. Isn't that AI? So, where are we? We are born AI. We are born all in. A mother reads to the child before the child is born. That's AI. What's left after that? So thank you. Thank you for being human. Thank you for sharing a culture of innovation. And thank you for respecting the sixth eye. Why I say sixth sense? Sixth sense is what Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh tell us. That's AI. And that's lifelong learning. So that's the summary of yesterday's session. Thank you, Ravi Santalani. I hope you hear me. If you hear me, say, hey. This is the first time in 7 years I speak in a ScooNews conference. So I celebrate this 7 minutes of joy which I have today with you. And believe me, what matters most is not what you're looking for, what we call joy of learning as a summary of yesterday. Joy is we are here. We are here right now. We are together and we are all in. 100 years ago, a lifelong journey started. Out of those 100 years, 50 are sitting here in this room. My guru, who started my learning journey, post what my mother and parents gave me till 9 years of age, is very much in this hall. And he is privy to every part of my life. He will absolutely stay with veracity. Every word I say here today has a deep meaning behind it. And that's the joy of learning. Thank you, sir. आप केवल लक्ष्यराज जी के गुरु नहीं हैं, उससे पहले मेरे गुरु थे, सो इसलिए मैं भी लक्ष्यराज के साथ कंपटीशन में हूं. In 1923, we had a challenge in India, a big challenge, and we tried to address a problem statement. Can anyone guess what that problem statement is? And that problem statement exists today after 100 years. You say we have developed, you say we are all in. You talk of everything yesterday which you see in the film. I don't want to really elaborate on that, because recap meant I tell you a little about yesterday. Ravi filmed it, so he said, okay, you say the story ahead. That will follow. So 100 years ago, we had a challenge. The challenge is very simple, to get people to read. Now look, 100 years down the line, you have the same challenge, to get people to read. What have we done? What have we done right? What have we done wrong? It's time to pause. It's time to be all in and listen to this story of 100 years told to you in just 2 minutes. One gentleman, Lala Narayan Das ji, who happened to be my grandfather, came to a small town called Firozpur on the border of Pakistan. All the army men must be familiar, because they guarded everything that gentleman owned, from his few cows to his few books, whatever he owned, he owes it all to them. So he said कि मुझे अब क्या करना चाहिए? मुझे अंग्रेजों को अंग्रेजी किताब पढ़ाना है. That was his first step. He says because हिंदुस्तानियों को अभी किताब अंग्रेजी में पढ़ाने में थोड़ा समय लगेगा. And he set up a store called the English Book Depot, which celebrates 100 years today. So that's the lineage and that's the challenge we tried to address. People ask me, what do you do? I said, do nothing. I just tell stories, I sell books. That's it. Some people say you're community partner, some people say you're my good school, some people even call me Fab India School wala, some people call me English Book Depot wala, but I'm just a person who loves to read. And if you don't read, nothing will work. I ask every teacher, every principal, every school head, give me the book you've read this year, and I say it loudly in front of everyone. Think about it. Because if you can answer this question for yourself, you will get it right. If your children read, they get to think critically. If they get to think critically, they get to write. If they get to write, they script their story. If they script the story, they get to speak because they have a script. I too wrote some things down. I'm not reading that, but the script came because of having read the ScooNews magazine this morning and having spent the time. Now, when you get a script and you speak, you get to convert your thought into action. You can make a podcast, you can make a film. Yesterday we were talking about film, storytelling, we were talking about emotions, we were talking about reflections. It only happens, it starts with reading. So this story didn't end there. Lala Narayan Das ji from 23 till 47 sat in Firozpur. In that little 25-year period, he got a lot of people from Northwest India, which is our friend Pakistan now. I'm using the word friend because for us, there are a lot of people who share our lifeblood stories with us. My mother still tells me, "Mera wahan pe abhi bhai bhi hai ek." So that's where he did. He went every summer to Kohat and Jampur, got back community people, and that's known as community partner. So what this community partner did, he used to get people work with him, sell books, फिर 6 महीने बाद give 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, whatever he had collected in those 6 months when that person was working, एक छावनी में जाओ, छावनी is cantonment, और वहाँ किताबों की दुकान खोलो. उसका नाम रखना लंदन बुक डिपो, ब्रिटिश बुक डिपो, इंग्लिश बुक डिपो, ऑक्सफोर्ड बुक डिपो, लॉयल बुक डिपो. These are the names you've all heard. So that's his story. And 37 bookstores opened in his lifetime. No franchising, no franchising. Nothing taken from them, given money to every individual. That's called community, that's called service. And that's not called philanthropy. Because his belief is very simple. Philanthropy is not giving. Philanthropy is not giving. Philanthropy is social wealth creation. So this definition, when I shared with the Premji Foundation, they sent us a check of 5 crore. And that check of 5 crore was used to enhance and capacity build at a school called Fab India School. My dear principal from Fab India School is here. She's kind of very shy and timid away from me at the moment because she feels that the story still has to go on, and she's very right. So I want to really emphasize this point that social wealth creation is why you are here. You're not here to run a chain of schools. Sorry if I say that like that. You are here to give learning, the joy to every child. And how do you give joy in your school? You give your basic reading, writing, speaking. Every school must have 4 things in their curriculum. You have a card on your desk which describes this philosophy. We wrote 10 pages and then it became just 1 card which is on your desk. Every school in their curriculum has service, skill, sport, and study. That's AI. That's all in. Look at your curriculum. You have to have an element of service, skill, sport, and study. And that makes your My Good School. Now this My Good School is a philosophy. आपका स्कूल अच्छा क्यों है? कर्नल शेखर का स्कूल अच्छा है, मे बी स्पोर्ट्स में बहुत अच्छा हो. जनरल कुलकर्णी का स्कूल अच्छा है, मे बी स्टडी में बहुत अच्छा हो सकता है किसी स्कूल की स्पेशलाइजेशन हो सकती है. परंतु ये जो 4 S हैं, पहले आता है सर्विस, SER, दूसरा आता है स्किल, तीसरा आता है स्पोर्ट, और चौथा आता है स्टडी. अल्फाबेट डिक्शनरी. स्टडी तब ठीक हो पाएगा जब आपके स्कूल में सर्विस, स्किल, स्पोर्ट और स्टडी होगा. और उसके अलावा आपको क्या चाहिए? हैप्पी टीचर्स. So if we don't work for happy teachers, I'm sorry, we will miss out the 7 steps of joy. Now what are the 7 steps of joy? I'm coming to my last minute now. The 7 steps joys are very simple. We have to make every school my good school. That is by spreading the joy of learning for every child. I say every child. We have to have happy teachers because with that, you can't make your my good school. You have to have a guide inside. Now, guide inside is when mind, consciousness, and thought work together. And that's AI. Mind, consciousness, and thought work together. You listen to your mind, develop on your consciousness, and then take the action. So this is known as my guide inside. After that, we follow up with some experiential learning, internships, fellowships, and we reach a stage, it is called Dil Jeeto. Aren't we all here to win hearts? So if joy of learning is not there to win hearts, I am sorry, we'll miss the journey of learning. Now, Dil Jeeto for us is a program. So the steps I've given you, my good school, happy teachers, my guide inside, internships, fellowships, Dil Jeeto, and finally, community astronomy. Thank you, Jacob sir. Jacob sir is here? Okay, I think we're missing him. Jacob sir yesterday from Good Shepherd International mentioned something about stars. He mentioned something about planets. So the interesting bit is what we thought that if children don't connect with the cosmos, the learning journey will be incomplete. And that's where we developed a set of robotic telescopes. This is very, very interesting. So 7 robotic telescopes were set up 3 years back. Today there are 15 robotic telescopes across the world. And a robotic telescope can be controlled by your phone. You can actually go to the Mars with it, and you can do a community astronomy program. So from a simple all inside to connecting with the cosmos, I am sure that is the journey of building a good schools alliance. So what we want now is we want you to share what you do for your school, build that together and bring all the schools together to actually spread the joy of learning. So from the gentleman who came 100 years back with the dream कि हर एक शहर में किताबों की दुकान खुलें, to where we are today, we are still addressing the same challenge. आप सब प्लीज किताबें पढ़िए. मैं इस डिस्कशन में नहीं आऊँगा कि डिजिटल फॉर्म में, फ़ोन में, पेपर में, that doesn't matter. आप अखबार पढ़िए, मैगजीन पढ़िए, बट पढ़िए ज़रूर. बिकॉज ये मत कहिए कि मेरे पास समय नहीं है, मुझे फेसबुक देखना है, इंस्टाग्राम देखना है. जितना मैं देखता हूँ फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम कोई नहीं देखता होगा इस रूम में. परंतु मैं हर हफ्ते एक किताब पढ़ता हूँ, रोज़ सुबह 4:30 बजे उठता हूँ और 1 घंटा रोज़ पढ़ता हूँ. ये ज़रूरी है. प्लीज़ बच्चों को encourage कीजिए to read books. ScooNews exists because we have a culture of reading. Open the ScooNews magazine. You have a list of books there. Open the ScooNews magazine. You have 10 teacher warriors there. Ravi sir, everyone is a teacher warrior here. You need 700 awards and not just 10. But yes, those 10 are stories worth reading. Read those stories when you go back to your school, to your children. And one such story which I heard here was Sonam Wangchuk's. And Sonam Wangchuk is going to get the India's robotic telescope this year in SecMol. It's costing us 700 million, the entire SLU project. It's funded by the National Science Foundation. Every child in the school will get access to community astronomy at just about $3 to $4 a year. That's it. So we'll come to that later. There's no marketing here. All this is done courtesy to the vision of Lala Narayan Das ji. And today, my life and times, we've been able to set up a foundation. Foundation is called Learning Forward Foundation. The name is as simple as that. This foundation is a legacy of all our work and life. All our program, everything, thanks to what we learned from each one of you, has been dedicated to the Learning Forward Foundation. Let us know how together we can help you take your learning forward. God bless you all for listening to me. Ravi sir, I hope you have kept my time. And I really respect you for what you do, for the time you keep, because every breath matters. Every breath you take. It's a poetry. I will end with that. Every breath you take. Search in your phone, Shivpreet Singh. He sits in California. If you want to meet him, he's coming to my good school next month. Shivpreet Singh's coming to my good school. Okay, yeah, great. You want to say the whole thing? Amrita will say every breath you take. Absolutely. Okay, so I think I'll ask Neenu to actually sing it. That's the Neenu, please come here. Come here, come here, come here. Yeah, just push her, just push her. Just push her because she introduced me to Shivpreet Singh. I connected with Shivpreet in in California, and we are getting Shivpreet to My Good School. Last thing, My Good School is a once-a-week school, demolishing all your schools. We meet once a week for 2 hours, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And I say with veracity, your 36 classrooms one side and our 2 hours one side. We are there with you. Add them to your classroom. Believe me, it will be all in AI. Thank you.
Hi. So just going to sing 2 lines from Shivpreet's Shabar. जो मांगे ठाकर अपने से सोई सोई देवे नानक नाम मुख ते जो बोले इहा उहा सच होवे जो मांगे ठाकर अपने ते सोई सोई